Several years ago, on my business workshop for international expansion, I asked the participants if they know where they should export. And one of the answers was, of course, the Czech Republic. And then I asked, why this country? And the reply was, I feel like this is the best direction, and besides, the beer there is very good.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Hi, I'm Dmytro Shvets, your host at the Start Global Insights, where I interview local experts in different countries about local insights and international expansion experience.
In the previous episode about the international expansion roadmap, I described the basic steps you need to take to enter new markets in a systematic way, including the first step of self-diagnostics to check if you are ready for going global. The second step of the journey is to understand where you would sell your goods or services and choose the focus market for your international expansion. So, today I will share with you the approach that I use in my consulting practice and show you how to choose your markets based on facts and not emotions. But you can probably ask, why do I need to choose the focus markets at all? The world is so big and I can sell everywhere at once. The problem is exactly in the mismatch between the size of the world and the size of your resources. The last ones are always limited. Even the big corporations with billions of dollars on their accounts usually don't enter many countries simultaneously. But sometimes even they make mistakes. I remember one case with the big international candy producer that entered China and several more European countries at once. As a result, they left China in a year with a container of unsold candies as they didn't study the Chinese consumers' needs there. And the same situation was in Spain, where only after months of sales they discovered that chocolate is not very popular in this country. Every country, every market has its own rules, languages and specifics. So, to enter a new country, you will need to understand them and develop an entry strategy for the selected market. You will need to understand your potential clients, their behavior and needs, the channels they use to know about the product and to buy it. You will need to know the local prices, packaging trends, and competitors to adapt your product and to differentiate. Entering one single country may take from 1 year to several. Apart from understanding the market and its rules, you will need to find potential clients, interest them, send tests, conduct several rounds of negotiations, start test sales and market your product. In addition to that, many distributors and retail chains have specific time slots for reviewing new suppliers once a year. And if you miss that slot, you will need to wait for another year to get a contract. And now answer the question, how many resources do you have? And whether they would be enough to do all these things simultaneously in the whole world. So, the only way to deal with limited resources is to focus. In our case, to choose the most appropriate and interesting markets. But how to do that? How to select from nearly 200 countries? Well, the first thing you need to do when you are looking for something is to clearly understand what you are looking for. You need to describe the market that would be the best match for your product. In other words, to make a list of criteria that will help you to filter all these markets and select the best one for your business. To simplify the approach, you have two very basic criteria. Where is the biggest number of your clients and where it would be the easiest to enter. Remember that your clients are not only those who consume your product, but also those who will help you to sell it in the new market. This means that most probably you won't start your sales directly to your consumers. Instead, most likely you will sell to distributors, retailers, or cooperation partners. So, you can start from these criteria and decompose them further, thinking what will show you that the market is exactly what you are looking for. By creating the list of criteria, keep in mind that you will need to find data for each country, and it may be not so easily available for all of them. To make this easier, I usually split the list of criteria in two tiers. The first tier for data easily available in the open source statistics databases, like World Bank, Statista, Food and Agriculture Organization, TradeMap, etc. For example, the average income population, or imported goods. You may find the links to these resources in the description of this episode. This data will help you to narrow down your search to the 5-7 countries, where you can look for more detailed information in the local sources, according to the second-tier criteria. The second-tier criteria may be already more country-specific. For example, number of distributors or retail networks, prices for your products, certification needed to enter, or local business culture. This data can be found in local statistics, business associations, articles, or corporate strategies of public companies. And only after filtering markets through the second-tier criteria, you will choose up to 2 best matching countries for your business. If you have not found data for the direct criteria, try to think what indirect metric can help you to understand the market potential. For example, when we analyzed the market of private swimming pools, and there were no statistics for the swimming pool number, we used another metric that indirectly showed the size of the market. It was the import size of the pool cleaning equipment. So, you've made up the list of criteria and split it to 2 tiers. Now you can collect the data needed and organize them in one table. The first column of the table will consist of the countries' names, and the first table row of your criteria. A good life hack is to have criteria with exact numbers, at least for the first tier. This will help you to filter, compare, and prioritize your potential markets quickly. Having done this, you will get your focus markets, and your next step would be to analyze them deeper to understand how to enter them. That's it. Wishing you good luck in your international expansion journey and enjoy interviews with local experts in other episodes.